Hey, so here's what I'm thinking. I think you should never tell another person something that was told to you in confidence. I know that sounds a bit iffy because there's certain situations where you kind of have to tell. I mean, they come up now and then, like there's context. For instance, if your friend is going through a really hard time or someone close to you is going through a hard time, and you know they have a history of mental illness or self-harm, you may need to tell someone. That's a judgment call that you have to make because that's not something you should deal with alone, and you also don't want your friend to get hurt. So you might have to tell someone and break that trust a little bit. And that's where you kind of decide, do you destroy the friendship for the well-being of your friend because you're going to lose their trust? Or do you keep their trust, keep their respect, and let them hurt themselves, you know? But what I said still stands. You should not tell another person what was told to you in confidence if you want to keep a friendship. The reason I bring this up is because recently I met a new group of friends and I realized that a lot of times these people talk about things that are told to them in confidence, things that are said between two people that is not meant to be shared with anyone else. And that can cause a lot of problems in a friendship, in a relationship, when you're just telling other people what you know, you know? And it's always, I mean, the saying goes, honesty is the best policy, but you should not be outing your friends. You should not be telling other people things that they told you specifically. They trusted you enough and they were comfortable enough with you to tell you that they were going through something or that they felt this way about a certain person. That's not your place to share that with someone else. Of course, there's circumstances, but for a lot of things, for most things, if you want to keep a friendship, you don't do that. Um, definitely not. Definitely not. I Friendships are weird because oftentimes you have to kind of balance on that line of compassion and overstepping. Um, because it's not easy to always know what is the best thing to do for your friend and if they'd even want you to do that. Like, a friend could be going on, let's say you notice your friend's eating a lot less and they're starting to look a little slimmer, and it's a little uncharacteristic of them. They don't buy their meals. Like when you guys are going out, they're just like, no, I don't want anything. They don't finish their meals. And later, you go and tell someone, like, he's not eating. Like, I'm concerned for him. I really think he needs help. And that ends up creating like a confrontation of people that are like telling him, like, dude, like, you need to eat. Like, dude, so and so told me that you weren't eating and that you were having a hard time. And so when they come to you, like, what the hell are you telling people? Why are you telling people that I have an eating disorder or something? And you're like, well, it seems like you weren't eating much. And they're just like, dude, I'm on a cut. I'm just on a calorie deficit. Like, I'm working out. I'm trying to get smaller. I'm trying to get more lean. Then you totally just blow things out of proportion. So, as a rule of thumb, it's best not to assume things. It's best not to tell people stuff that you don't know the full story of, you know? And branching off of that, I think that a lot of times it's easier to hate than to understand. And that's why you don't want to assume things about people. You don't ever want to assume what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they would decide, what they would want, because deep down, you will never understand someone, just as no one will ever be able to understand you. you aren't going to be able to tell what's inside someone's head at any given moment. You're not going to be able to tell what they want, what they're thinking or feeling, and what's best for them. So instead of, I'll give you an example. You go up to someone's desk, right, in class, and you're like, hey, can I borrow a pencil? And they just don't respond. And so you stand there for a bit, and you ask them again, like, hey, can I have a pencil, please? And they're like, can you please leave me alone? You might leave and tell other people, like, wow, so-and-so is so rude. Like, he's such an asshole. He didn't even, like, want to look at me. He wouldn't even talk to me. It's just a pencil. I just asked him for a pencil, right? And then in his head, so you start saying all these rumors about him, telling it like how he's like not nice, how he's kind of like an ass. And he's hearing about that, and he just feels worse and worse about himself. And in his own head, he's struggling. Like his mom just passed away, right? Or his dog just passed away, or he totally bombed a test, and now his parents are gonna be pissed at him, and he has all this responsibility on his shoulders, and you just gave him an extra stressor, you know? And yeah, he was an ass, but I'm not saying that's justified, but if you choose to understand, if you choose to like, I wonder why he did that. If you're curious and you don't just demonize someone, you're not just like, wow, what an asshole. You end up being able to be much more compassionate. You end up being able to be a lot more empathetic. And you'd get a type of empathy that you wouldn't be able to have otherwise if you had just judged them. And talking about it as well with other people can just make the situation worse. So another thing is like, if you don't have anything good to say, you probably shouldn't say it. Unless it's like your friend and he's doing something that's messed up and you want to check him. You want to reality check him. Like, hey, what you're doing is messed and you need to stop. That is when you say something negative about someone. But because you care about them and you want to see them make a positive result, right? You don't want to just start flaming random people like, damn, Judah, you suck, or damn, Kelvin, like, you can't draw for shit, like, or, dude, you look funny when you eat. That's something that, like, you say between the two of you behind closed doors, and you're like, hey, like, there's something off about the way you eat. Let me show you. Let me, like, try to teach you how to eat your food correctly so that people don't make fun of you in the future. That's not something that you make a joke out of in front of a group of people and you're like, bro, dude, you suck at eating, and everyone just starts laughing, because that's going to create like a stressor. That's going to create a insecurity in a person, and it's just better not to do that. Like, there's no reason to create enemies. There's no reason to try to hurt your friends or hurt a random person when you can choose to get empathetic, right? So yeah, that's all I really had to say. I'm eating yogurt again, yogurt and blueberries. Let me give it a little taste. I'll rate it for you. That was good. Yeah. That's good. That's like, honestly, this is a 10 out of 10 food. I'm personally cutting a bit. I'm trying to get a little smaller. And dude, this food, it hits. Like, I don't like yogurt usually, but mixing the yogurt and the blueberries, it's vanilla flavored. I got the version that's like 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 fat. It is like the most anabolic snack, and it's only like 70 calories for that whole bowl, which is insane. And like, it's a snack that like I can feel good about eating. Like, I'm not cheating on my diet. I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not gonna look horrible because I'm stuffing myself. But so yeah, that's all I really had to say about friendships, relationships, promises, and empathy. It's like, you just need to be nice to people and just try not to make someone's life worse, and try to honor secrecy, try to honor loyalty and promises. right? I think those are some of the things that make you a good person, and they can make you a better friend. So that's all from me. Hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. And as always, I love you. Have a great everything.